I'm not gonna waste too much time. Good morning, everybody. C-Spaz. Thanks for the follow this morning, bud. Thank you. Hello. What's up, guys? Currently have some, tracks from the Project Winter War OST coming in here, so you guys can enjoy that while we're hanging out. But speaking of hanging out, this is a dev stream. I made a post about this in the Discord. Was it yesterday? Might have been yesterday. The days are kind of starting to blend together a little bit. But dev streams are just kind of where I'm going to be working on some stuff that is going to be public knowledge for Project Winter War. And announcing stuff, answering questions, talking about the project as a whole, and just kind of get some work done. Really. Today's going to be a pretty lengthy one considering of how much work I want to do. We're gonna hang out for a couple hours until I basically get hungry for lunch, and then I'm gonna go off and do that. So, but we'll flip over here. A monitor. So we're gonna start off with just kind of messing with spawns a little bit. I kind of got it working, where it's chill, but it's a little too chill, and there's a couple things that I wanted to investigate because there's a couple more spawn files that I apparently missed, so I'm gonna look for those. Hurry, maybe. Dispatch. And I'll try my best to move everything that I do over here. So what we're doing is, my current investigations with the messing spawns is that it's based off of battle value system. Battle value does affect stuff a little bit, but sorry, trying to actually drink my coffee while it's hot this time. Is that battle value does affect things in a certain way, but what I essentially did is I went through all the battle values. I'll show you guys this here. Oh, actually, oh, because I have the search function on. But so I'll show you guys this. So what I essentially did is I went through the battle values and I actually halved them. As you can see, this is just a default battle value allocation. So these values were doubled before, which I kind of found a little bit surprising. But yeah, I essentially had to go through and have every single value in here, and I had to do this not only just for this, but I had to do it. These. What was the really insane one? I think it was raids, was it? Yeah, there's this one. And this one, just to make sure that that was halved as well. But yeah, it's there was a lot of values, and I think I took about 3 hours just changing numbers. Okay, so let's have a look here at dispatch encounter. These were files I was told to look at by BGI. Oh, interesting. Blueprint. Deck. Going from something else. Oh, choice. Okay. This is gonna take a little bit of dispatch. Oh. Okay. No, that's not what I'm. Ah. Okay. Behavior. Interesting. This is the. Huh. Batch sideways. Garrison. Okay. Ape. Dispatch mode, strike. Scout. Number with. Dispatch unit. Behavior. In reinforcement drop. Oh, fuck. That was a sneeze. Waves behavior. Side wave units. Wave number integer adds usable with units. Category units. So these are files I can play with. It's not what I'm. Red maybe. This might be it. Hey, other Mad Cat, how you doing? I wonder if this changes each other, cause I gotta change all these. Why is that 0? First salt makes that show up in what? Keep looking. Oh, that's... Whoops, that's a quirk. Works. Master spread path we don't need. Okay, so one of these 4. Uh why are these all different? Oh, so it pulls one of these. Okay. I see what it's doing. Okay, babe, how you doing? Here. One only has 1. This one has 3. Why? Okay, so overarching goal is for Project Wind and War, we don't want to swarm players, how the base game does currently. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to ensure that there is significantly less flak to deal with, which means cutting down on a lot of turrets and tanks and VTOLs, but adding in difficulty by introducing more stronger opponents that are better. It's like better AI that is a little bit smarter, a little bit more accurate, and have fewer of those and add difficulty in that way rather than having just numbers. Because let's be honest, if we're using tabletop values, which we are, a mech currently would not be able to survive a standard Mech Warrior 5 mission. I mean, well, if you played very carefully, it's possible, but man, that is not a fun game. So the goal here is to chill out. So what we're gonna do, I'm not sure. Wonder if this is pulling from somewhere. Oh. Snap. Okay. It just occurred to me. Okay. So what it's wanting to do is exactly how much battle value these things get. Okay. I figured it out. Okay. All value is indeed an integer. What's my point development time for the mod at the moment? At some point. No, let me be real honest for a second. Is we're basically developing a brand new game at this point. So basically our stance is patience. We're not a full-time group of people that are working on this. This is a team of, I think, 30, and most of them are voice actors, doing this in their own free time, me included. So, patience. I would be shocked. I would honestly be shocked if anything story-related was released this year. That said, what we're doing is actually we're going to be releasing modules that are preparing the game for Project War. So, for instance, one of the modules is actually something that I'm hoping to be working on today, is tabletop valuing all of the Intersphere weapons and mechs. So that means that mechs currently have double the armor than what they're supposed to have. So it's going to be reducing those values, and the weapons are also doing very weird damage states that are not accurate to tabletop, so those are also going to be nerfed. And also trying to combat the fact that there's 5 tiers of different weapons, so they're basically just going to be all the same level of weapon, I guess. I don't know, because I don't think I can actually tell the game through a mod to not drop something that is currently in the game. So like, so basically what I'm doing is I would basically be removing everything good about like a tier 5 Gauss rifle, for instance. I wish I could just tell the game not to drop anything above a tier 0. I can't. Actually I could. I could just mark it as not salvageable, but then you wouldn't get the salvage, and then that becomes the problem, is that you wouldn't get equipment. So most likely what I'm going to be doing is just nerfing it and have 5 different types of a certain weapon that are all the same. Yeah, most games take 2 years to flush out story and base flow progression. This is also part of the thing, is that Project War is not a recent thing. We've actually been working on Project War for over 2 years. It was all pre-production, it was storyboarding, getting all our lore correct and consistent. We're still creating mechs to introduce, like brand new mechs with brand new tech sets that have been balanced through tabletop games. We've had people test this. Making those configs, variants, and have them appear in games that, like, basically we can just look at the record sheet that we made for these mechs and just go, okay, put this, put this, and done. So it makes it easier. But yeah, the story is technically done. Script is still being written for chapter 1. Yeah, no, it's a large project. I really would be surprised if the story came out this year. But modules are definitely gonna be a thing. Like, I would imagine by the end of May, we're gonna have 1 or 2 modules out by then. For PWW. So, just to give you a little bit of insight there. I just want to make sure that I have shit that I need for value. Distribution of that, battle value density, that matter, but okay, so my current process, I need to write this down because I do better with writing, is selects how much battle value, EV densities, how much EV is preferred, weighted, use weighted. Unit type. And then I need to go through each unit type. I believe. Strongly believe. So this is a distribution to units in general. So if theoretically I changed aerial and ground to minimal. Actually, I might. Okay, I gotta put this in perspective of not the main enemy faction that they'll be fighting. This is trying to target the Radiant dynamic missions. The Radiant dynamic missions, yes, aerospace exists, ground vehicles exist, but they're not too common. It's mostly mechs. Depending on the difficulty, one is more likely. So once I do that, then I go to here. Difficulty lower than 15, I believe. Yeah, okay. Then and then this is how many of them there are. And then the spread through mission types. Secondary. And this is just a random list. Battle value spread. They're all set to low. Not sure if this is gonna affect me. I'm gonna ignore that for right now. These numbers are already halved. This is how much battle value is allowed. Including market battle mech list. Is this the market list? Oh no, the fucking UI. Duh. Widget. Yep. Yeah, these are all set to normal because they're not used. I think. But they're instead pulling from things that I already changed, which are these. So that leads me to believe that everything else that I currently need is in here. Okay, so first thing is BV priority. Q type is unit weight. Followed by difficulty, probably. No, not difficulty. That is it has like 3 difficulty filters. Okay, so let's start with this, and we can test this out. All right. Okay, so battle value. So what we want to do is lower this to those. Right. Battle value just this one. Okay, so what I want to do is actually, because I forgot to do the first step. I said action, reload. Really? Okay, never mind then. I'll just do it this way. It can get overridden later. Please don't crash. I'm gonna be really sad if this crashes. Not that the reload would take long, like I could have this back up in like a minute, but... This is taking a minute. How are you guys doing this morning? Yeah. You know, if districts actually take off, it'd be really funny if compiling shaders got memed, because compiling shaders is a huge thing in the editor. Whenever you try to render something, it's like compiling shaders for like the next 45 minutes. Have fun with that. Okay. Turrets. Yeah, that's fine. Ground. Low. Aerial low. Tanks low. I'm gonna not touch those. Just relaxing after a stupid week. I feel you, man. I don't necessarily think I had a stupid week, but it's just like things lately. It's just you need some chill. I've honestly just been super relaxing with a RuneScape addiction, an old school RuneScape addiction. May or may not be affecting my work time on this project. Yikes. Yes, this is what I want. Okay. Okay, so enemy type spreads. This is apparently the unit weight. Okay, so let's think. In the inner sphere, in 3500, what is the importance? Our importance is mech combat. Not necessarily combined arms, but there's a little bit of combined arms when it shows up. So, minimal or low? This is gonna take a lot of experimenting. Fuck. You've been messing around with Pathfinder Kingmaker? Yeah, didn't the Kickstarter for the next one start like last month or the month before? Right? Is that what I heard? I don't follow Pathfinder too much, but I pay attention to most RPGs. Okay, let's try. Put that at low. Set up to low, medium, high. Do that to start with. Okay, so now this is the hard part. So this I don't necessarily need, I think. We'll quickly knock this one out of the way. Move you in here. Actually, I could just leave that as is. That's very close to what I would want it. But I have the overwrite, so just in case I need to change anything. But that's fine. We have these two. Game libraries, MechWarrior 5 function. Check that folder out. Oh god, this is gonna take a while. Ugh. I had like a solid 2.5 hour conversation with a dev from PGI this week, and it's really amusing because they have computers that are way better than mine, but they still get progress bars. And I made the comment, it's like, yeah, no, my life is a progress bar, and he's like, doesn't get any better. I love that level of honesty. Okay, just to save myself time, I'm gonna also punt that over into the mod. I'm weird. I just spent 20 seconds dancing to a song. Nothing quite looking like a progress bar for a few hours between making mods. Yep. I'm hoping that this one doesn't take too long because it's just a data table, but the function library at the same time, so it's like a critical core function. There we go. Okay. Alright, now we can peep these real quick. Okay, so negligible. This is probably like starter areas here that would be spawning in. Okay, so Project Burn War starter dynamic missions honestly would probably start off with you completely kitted out, because the way that we're designing it is that you play through the campaign one mission right after another, and then it opens up the sandbox. So ideally you would actually already be pretty kitted and geared. But in the event that we don't do that, I really need to think about that one. Okay, lore-wise, mechs were pretty common, except in the periphery. Tanks would be the next most common, then followed by aerospace. And by the way, guys, I'm using aerospace interchangeably with like anything that flies. I know that MechWarrior 5 only has VTOLs, but let's try switching this around. Make that medium and make that high. And then the other placing to pull from is high-level turrets. Actually, you know what? Let's crank up turrets. On pull 1 and then pull 2. Yeah, that's fun. Pull 3. Let's just move that down to a high. Okay. This also has 3 childs. Come on, man. Oh, by the way, chat, if you weren't here for the start of the stream, I'm actually gonna put this up, is, we're playing tracks that are WIPs, or work in progresses, for the Chapter 1 original soundtrack. We're actually listening to the original soundtrack right now. A few tracks from it that are work in progress that are not final. But the feeling and the style is there. Where can I add text? OBS? Back now playing. Oh god, that is massive.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Yo, what? Wow, can I? Flavio, man, I hate dyslexia. Flavie, thanks for following, man. Welcome to stream. I'm just gonna call you Flavie because that's the only way I can pronounce it. Oh, it sounded like it was something familiar MechWarrior games? Our composers would be very happy to hear that. Rap. Text. OBS. Where can I wrap? Please just wrap text or. Ah. I have to put a stroke on this. Stroke. Outline, select color, black. Outline size. More. More. That works. They did a good job. Yeah, I know they're doing a very good job. We have 2 composers actually for the project. One of them is our primary composer. He is a, I don't want to say newbie, but like he hasn't done anything for the music scene before. And we have one that is actually the ex-composer from Bungie. Bungie Studios that made Destiny and Halo, but she came on to work for Destiny. She did music from The Taken King to Destiny 2. So, yeah. But she insisted on, because they know each other, they insisted on the new guy doing most of the stuff so he can get his feet wet and learn the process. So, and I'm more than welcome to humor that. And honestly, it's been working out great. So, okay, now that I have that text above me, so we're playing songs Project Wind War, OST. Get back to assigning shit. Okay, so low battle value spread means whenever it says low, how much of it is it getting? One already changed, run difficulty 15. So there's a higher chance of assaults than mediums? That's not right. It will roll with that. And I know I went back on that file because I wanted to investigate what it was doing. So, possible battle value spreads, this is how much it's getting. Ground vehicles can chill the F out. We want more mechs. We want mechs. This is low battle value. So when it's a low battle value, this is how much battle value everything is getting. The turrets are medium, which is fine. That's like standard base defense or point defense. Right, turrets are pretty cheap. Aerial vehicles, maybe it's not the right place to ask, but you know what made the MechWarrior 5 graphics so blurry my eyes really die? Yes, but no. So what happened is it's okay if you missed this. I don't mind repeating information because I know that people come in and out of the stream. I had a very long conversation with a PGI dev who just recently left the company to move on to new genre. But he was one of the programmers and engineers for the game. And he mentioned that for some reason, and their PGI is actually still actively investigating this, but for some reason the budget for mechs in the game, and when I say budget, I mean like the actual processing power that the game has to load something and make it look okay. Mechs are very expensive for some strange reason, and they're actively trying to cut that down. And it was admitted to me that there's actually a soft limit of things you can have on screen in the game. I'm not sure if that's on screen. It might just be on a level. There's a soft limit before your performance actually starts tanking, and I think that they had to cut down the graphics. And not really the graphics, but like the weird depth, kind of airy. You know what I'm talking about. Why that's there. I'm not sure if that's the reason why it's there, but the limit was that no more than 8 mechs, enemies. Basically, the player Lance is exempt from this, but it was like 8 mechs, 16 ground and air vehicles, and something like 20 turrets before performance started going like help. So I imagine that there's some reason in there why they had to draw back that, because I've seen games in Unreal Engine where you can see fucking kilometers perfectly. This game is not one of those games, so I think it probably has something to do with that. I'm not sure. That's just my opinion. Yeah, so don't take anything I say as fact. That's just how I drew that conclusion. That is quite strange. Yeah. The fact that the developers were also confused why the mechs were that expensive on processing power, it kind of leads to suspect that there's something going on that shouldn't, and they're probably going to fix that. But the thing is that when modding becomes a little bit bigger for MechWarrior 5 is that a lot more people are going to be coming in and doing stuff for it. MechWarrior 5 modding will never be as big as like Skyrim modding, because MechWarrior BattleTech is a much smaller fan base than the Elder Scrolls, right? Despite the fact that we're basically given the game engine, which is essentially what they do for Skyrim, is that like anything is possible with this game engine. Because theoretically, you could be fighting mechs that look like Thomas the Tank. You can do that in MechWarrior 5 if you really wanted to. It's just that we don't have the people interested in modding here. Most people that are modding right now are very new, like myself, and doing what they can. So I think eventually we will see modders doing their own bug fixes and performance optimizations. That will eventually come, but I don't think it will be for a while yet until people get to that level, or smarter people from different modding communities and experiences come over to MechWarrior 5 to mess around. But as it stands right now, I don't think that MechWarrior 5 modding is going to be like a huge fucking thing until something happens. And what I mean something happens is one of the 3 massive projects comes out. And when I mean by massive projects, I'm including Project Winter War, my project in there. MechWarrior 3068, I think is what they're going by now. We're friends with them, that dev team over there. And there's another gigantic mod project that I just heard of and I forget the name of. It was like earlier this week that someone's working on something big, so I would pay for an unofficial patch type mod. I don't think you're the only one. And I just realized that text is actually blocking me from reading who is following. I'll move this down and open up Twitch so I can see who followed and thank them. Snoop, thanks for the follow, man. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I noticed that a lot of, sorry, I'm catching up on chat. I noticed that a lot of enabling PAA, if I disable and put FXA on, looks clean, but I see dots everywhere. Thanks, by just out of curiosity. Problem. The dots seem to be fixed by either turning on or off, sharpening. I sat there messing with it for a bit, but I'm just a dirty lurker. Hey, I appreciate lurkers. Everyone does. If a streamer says they don't appreciate lurkers, leave. Every streamer should appreciate lurkers because they help. I would pay for a graphics fix about the blurry. If these must be great, I'll donate for sure. Yeah, I really would like to have performance fixes for Project Winter War, but honestly, no one in the Project Winter War staff team is in that realm. We were kind of counting on other people doing it, and we would contact them and be like, hey, can we incorporate, hard to incorporate this into our mod? That'd be fantastic. Or at the very least, leave the room open for our mods to be compatible, which is something that I've recently started considering, because I know that a lot of people have their own preferences for mods, and I want to accommodate that as much as possible with ours, but there are certain things that like just won't be compatible. Like, for instance, people that are doing their own spawning systems will not be compatible with ours, because one, we're introducing, I have to be careful about this, 2.5 new tech sets with Project Winter War. And tech sets, guys, if you're BattleTech familiar, there's Inner Sphere and there's Clan. And then later on, you have Mixed Tech, which is both of combined, you have access to both, and then there's Jihad stuff, on and on and on. So there's tech sets. We're introducing 2.5 of these tech sets that have been bounced and tested on tabletop games to absolutely every single extent. We've done the work. So it's so much, and I really would like to have this stuff incorporated, but like, you know, as much as I would like to have a HUD that would be widely acceptable for us, I know people use Navid's high quality HUD and advanced zoom stuff. I do too, and you know, I would like to have something like that incorporated for us. And it has occurred to me, like, I would like to do our own UI, for Project Winter War, but I think that people would very much dislike it if it was static. I think people like having the options to choose and incorporate their own stuff. So yeah, I'll probably have to think about that one, but most likely it's going to be that we just ignore the UI and tell people, like, hey, you can use whatever UI and HUD that you want, have fun with Project Winter War, that's what we're letting you do, whatever. But I don't know, we'll get there when we get there. The new tech stuff is one of the big things that dragged me into this project, and of it HUD is some high quality stuff. Yeah. You know, and actually just me being contacting Nav and be like, hey, can you make just like a one-off HUD like this and hit these certain beats? Because a lot of my influences for Project Winter War is coming from the fact that I have not seen a novel quality story done in a MechWarrior game yet, and that's one of the main things that we're offering with Project Winter War. Is we want a novel quality story that is very rich, has a lot of story beats, plot devices, engages players in the story. Like, we want to draw people in rather than just playing. By the way, you PGI employee are working so hard. I'm not PGI, but there was a cat there, so talking about the story. So we're trying to hit those story beats well, and most of the influences come from the fact that I have very fond memories of MechWarrior 3, which was the first game I ever played. No joke, it was the first game ever that I ever played. And while it was the first game I ever played and it was probably my favorite game of all time, I actually spent more time in MechWarrior 4, which obviously was newer, played better, and just was cooler. But most of the story beats from those games, we kind of have like an idea of like stuff that worked well in both those games and stuff that didn't work well, and we're trying to incorporate stuff into novels. If you guys have played Hairbrained Schemes BattleTech, that was very close to a novel quality story. Like, yeah, it could have been more intense and actiony, but like it was solid all the way through. Like, there wasn't a point where it's just kind of like, I don't understand the reason why I'm doing stuff. It was, you always had a purpose, you're always interested in the story. For the most part, I know some people weren't, but we're kind of hoping that we hit these certain beats for people, because we really want this to be strong. We want to draw people in, and actually have fun with what we're doing, despite us probably making the game a lot more difficult. Back to what I was doing, I was messing with spawns. Okay, so low battle value spread, hole number 0. Hole number 1, change it up a little bit. So turrets on medium, aerials on high, light mech on high. That's kind of an interesting one. MechWarrior 5's plot is weak as fuck, especially with the execution of that story. I'm gonna agree with you 80%, and I'm gonna disagree with the rest of the 20%, and here's why. There were a couple missions that were actually very engaging and very unique. The first one was it wasn't the refinery. It was a refinery. It was the one where you kind of go up like this very long ramp, and you're taking out a bunch of Black Inferno refinery buildings. And that mission was actually well done, because it's like, we need to hamper you. We have a reason to hamper you, and we're gonna do it. And the pacing of that level was actually very good, because, you know, you fought mechs that kind of softened you up a little bit. You're trying to defend people, and then you kind of moved into the base, and you kind of encountered a little bit of resistance here and there, and then right at the end, right when you complete your objective, it's like, oh shit, they noticed what you're doing, they're gonna try to stop you. And I thought that was really well. The mech factory mission was also very unique, because you're fighting a bunch of zombie mechs and trying to fight your way through, and then of course you have a final boss encounter, which was actually pretty solid. Although by the time that I actually was there in my playthrough, I was pretty stacked on gear, so it was kind of over really quick. But pacing for that was really cool because you're kind of questioning why the mechs are damaged and you're one-shotting everything. But the amount of mechs there makes sense because you can just one-tap them with good weapons. Again, well-designed level. And then the last 8 missions of the game where you... Spoiler alert, by the way. I'll get to that in a second. But the last 8 missions where you're out by Farstar and the outer periphery there, where the first Exodus road was from General Krensky, those missions are very rich in story. They're very engaging. They draw the player in. I don't think I've talked to anyone who was actually bored in those last 4 missions, or those last 8 missions. So it is something right there. But I agree, it was kind of slow. It didn't really draw the player in. There was no reason to want to do anything really. And the one part that bugged me was your character had a huge hard-on to destroy Comstar, which is not something you want to do in the 3000s. Comstar would delete your ass so hard. That was something that bothered me. And then of course, you know, the final mission hinting at, oh hey, clans have been here, by the way. And you kind of go, oh shit. I wonder how the story works for people who have no knowledge of the overall BT lore. I'm actually playing with someone who is in that state, and after we play through that, I'll ask him that question and I'll let you know. Yeah. So the handcrafted missions were fine, but storytelling and the dropship were just bad. The guy in the mech hangar is annoying too. Honestly, didn't mind Fahad. Yeah, he had a couple interesting lines that really did kind of like it did comedic relief very well. One of my favorites is him commenting on Black Inferno, saying like, it just means smoke. What a dumb name for a Merc company. And I was like, yeah, kind of is. It's like it just kind of hit that weird moment of like, they do kind of sound like edgelords and they do act like edgelords, so I just kind of found that funny. And he had a few other lines in there, especially later in the campaign, that were actually interesting and engaging. I didn't mind it as much. I know that people complain about those characters and the fact that the dropship kind of seems dead or unfinished or just a miss in general. I don't think it was, because I think people expected more from a very, very small company. And I'm not all for defending PGI, because like, I mean, you know, you have to give criticism regardless, but like, I think that people's expectations were way too high for a company that could not amount to them. Because like, I mean, it's a company of 60 people, right? They're not a AAA studio. I don't even think they're a AA studio. But you know, they did what they could. They provided us a game that is fun, is repeatable, has procedural content that provides infinite gameplay loop. And I use infinite in quotations because some people do get bored, but like, it technically is different every single time. And they provide us tools to further enhance it because they don't have the ability to. I think it's fine. Like, I mean, yes, I would have definitely changed the combat system from spawning 50 enemies inside your asshole, but that's just how it turned out. Alright, that works for me. Elevated. And this just has 1. Let's knock these down by 1. Actually, I'm gonna say 2. And those can stay high. Where it's very high, area vehicles, turn down to medium. It's fine, severe. Turn that down to low. High, minimal, high. They spelled high wrong. Hey. It is high. They get that wrong on other ones? Or am I just high? That's not how you spell high, right? Why does that seem weird to me? Chat. I don't have an existential crisis right now. Is that how you spell high? I think that is. Why does it look so weird? God damn it. Urgh. Okay. More importance on mechs than vehicles. I don't know, but high is right. Okay. Maybe the cat. I just might be having a moment. Don't mind me. Oh shit. Okay. Medium, medium. High, low. Yeah, that's extreme. Okay. Max minimal. In very high, medium. It'd be like that sometimes. I'm fucking glad it's not me. I'm dying. Okay, so this is poll 1. So it's gonna want mediums and assaults more. It is perfectly fine for me. Poll number 2. Let's turn that down. I swear to God, that's not correct. Oh, that is correct. Okay. Yeah. No. No. Okay, so mediums and assaults. Let's do assaults and heavies. Pull 2. Do assaults and lights. Which is already doing. Okay. Okay. Okay, so spread association. This is secondary. What I expected, man making mod. What I got, man having an existential crisis over the word high. Yes. Welcome to the stream. It's even worse when I play games and try to understand basic concepts. Okay. What I want to do is kind of copy this a little bit. No, what I'm going to do with the secondary is I'm actually going to turn. Yes. Okay. So for secondary, I'm basically going to leave it the same, except I'm going to turn off aerial and ground for all of them, and turn turrets up. Because turrets are fine. So, negligible, we'll put on 0, 0. Turret high. You know what? I'm gonna turn this up to high just to keep the difficulty consistent. We'll do very high. On. Low. Free child. Okay. It's very high. 0, 0. It'd be really fun to create Calliope turrets. Calliopes are not lore accurate, but they're fun to fight against because they hurt. You guys remember playing MechWarrior 4 on Veteran? Those things could ruin a mission very easily. If you guys are not familiar with Calliopes, I will show you. Did I spell that correctly? I did. Yeah, if you guys don't remember Calliope turrets, they're these buggers. Right, and the reason why they hurt is because they had a near 0 miss. And it had 2 clan large lasers, 2 clan medium pulses, and 4 other M5s for some reason. And it also had AMS. These things sucked. These would peg you at maximum veteran. And I kind of want the back. I'm turning Battletech into... Oh shit, what was I on? Elevated? Yes. Yeah, I just like making games difficult. By the way, guys, there's... Can I say this? Yeah. Speaking of difficulty, there's gonna be a specific enemy type, if you guys are familiar with the meme that is Halo 2 Jackal Snipers on Legendary. There's an enemy type that is basically that. For Project War. Sorry. Not really. I want to see clips of people getting cockpitted out by this enemy type from stupid ranges and stupid ways. Cries even more. No, you guys don't know this. I want to see clips on the Project War subreddit of people jumping down a sheer cliff and just getting popped in the head on their way down. I would die laughing. That would be so great. Okay. Oh. Okay, so we got those. I think that should be the rest of spawns. Okay, so at this point, in my current mod override for testing, I am overriding battle value allocations for every single mission. It is reduced by half, and my observations was it was still lots of vehicles, lots of lower class mechs. I never saw a heavy or an assault at difficulties level 70 or above. So I'm hoping that if I do this, that I see more mechs and less tanks is essentially the goal of this edit. Can you disclose any info on the weapons, or at least of the weapons it uses are canon or not? None of our stuff is canon because it is user created, but it is taking stuff that is possible in canon and making it canon. We are basically conjecturing off of what technology is possible within 350 years of Battletech time, because currently right now canon ends at 3154 and Project One War take place in 3500. That's a couple centuries away. Like, you're not going to see anything too weird. You're just going to see different things of familiar stuff. So, like, for instance, might get yelled at for saying this, but we'll see. We have created synth tech, or synthesis. We're calling it synth tech, but it's basically the period. It's the tech set that is basically what happened when Intersphere technology and clan technology mixed and just became its own tech set. So instead of IS and clan, it is now just synth, because spheroid clans have been in the Intersphere for quite a few centuries now, and they're hanging out, you know, technology mixes, whatever. So synth tech is this. We have an impulse PPC. And what the impulse PPC is, it's basically kind of like a pulse PPC. So that's kind of like stuff we're doing. But like, you know, you still have your large lasers, you still have your pulses, you still have your heavies, you still have your racks, your autocannons, your missiles, your MRMs, SRMs, that stuff is still there. We're doing familiar stuff, we're just making everything better. And probably on future dev streams, you guys will get very small hints of exactly how good this stuff is. So, now that I messed with the spawns, what I wanted to do before I go test is I just wanted to check out the function library. I think it was in somewhere else completely different. Yeah, it doesn't appear in function library. Okay. Alright, we'll probably have to look at that manually. One sec. Just looking at this off. Game levels and count. Gonna take a minute for it to find. No, I said messed with PPCs a bit, but was never quite sure how I wanted something like pulse PPCs. However, I was the person messing around with ultra PPCs a while back in chat. Those were good fun. Oh yeah, I think I remember hearing about that. Yeah, everything is... We went through so many conversations of different weapon types that I wanted that were just not possible within lore, and I think we kind of... We introduced just a few new things that kind of go past what might be possible, but is still within the realm of possibilities within Battletech, without going too far overboard. Cough, cough, make assault. So I'm hoping that, you know, this new stuff is pretty This stream is now being haunted. Speaking of the master of synth tech, Spectre Merc for Mercs is actually my co-director for Project Winter War, and he did all the stuff on synth tech. So. In fact, just yeah. Works. Spectre, tried typing something in chat. Sure I did that correctly. Hi, VIP. Okay. The game folder. What? Where are these located? Content levels. Okay. Content levels. Counters. Counters. There we go. And these are blueprint classes. That holy what? Why is this set up this way? Okay, that looks more like what I was expecting. What the okay. Those are already edited. Those are defaults. Interesting. Okay, chat. I really have to go to the bathroom. I really like to poke through these, so I need to take a 2-minute break, quickly finish my coffee, take the cup downstairs, and I'll be back and we're going to continue making stuff and testing this. Actually, probably the next thing is testing this. See if spawns are working how I want them to. So, I'll be back. Okay. Back. All right. Let's level. Spawn everything. That's the option that they chose for base game. This is something I have in the mod. No. This is what he was talking about. Okay, so during my conversation with the PWW Dev, he was talking about how the AI was actually going to be a lot more advanced than it actually came out, and he was talking about job postings for garrisons. So like basically there'd be a central brain telling the AI to do something, and it would post jobs for units in the area to do. So like for instance, if it had a patrol or scout job, then it would, and if there's a light mech on the field, it would take priority because light mechs are usually scouts or patrols, right? And then like guard, you know, heavier units would stand or walk the perimeter of the base, and it was supposed to be a lot more advanced, but apparently they think independently, so they don't really coordinate with each other. They kind of do their own thing. But had this idea come into play, oh god, base attacks might actually have been scary. That's cool that this is here. Generator turret relation pool. Turret spawn points associated with generator. Interesting. Garrison unit allocation data. What the fuck? What? This must be part of that brain. Because holy shit. This is 100% that controller for that system I just talked about. Oh man, this would have been so cool to have in the game. Wow. That's cool. And fun fact, that same dev also said that their original idea for spawning was going to be garages. So if any of you guys played Mech Assault, of how there were mech hangers and it just popped out mechs until you destroy it, that was the original idea for spawns in this game. Would have been real nice. Dude, it would have made the game difficult, actually. Because I know for a fact if you actually turn down the aggression on most of the AI, they actually become smarter, which is something I should do. Huh. And you could have me wanting to poke about spawns in the AI. Do it, dude. More eyes on everything helps. Huh. Cool. Counter interface. Not gonna touch that. Oh, that's not input reading. I was about to be really upset. Okay. So, I want to investigate. Because if I have these files in the overall already. I remove shielding, because golly, that. Yeah. That's damage reduction. This is 25% regular. 80% large. Goal. Bonus in action. Oh, I get it. So this is the different difficulties of pilots that you can actually have in your team for instant action. What that's doing. Could be changed. What is this? What does it matter? Does this draw from something? Would it break if I change this? Source commander. I don't think it's referencing anything. Could be wrong. I just want to check something. Because it might be pulling from another data table that I'm not aware of. There it is. Okay. God damn it, it's compiling shaders. Okay. Quality is boss focus. Not reading from a file? It is. That's unit availability. Not necessarily. Interesting. So, question is, are the mechs all set to 0 as well? Yep. Okay, so I want to see that. Huh. What I was expecting for that. Same one I just looked at. Whoops. Fusion modifier curve. What is this value? Uh, I really want to know if changing that skill name breaks it. I'm too scared to try it. Okay, so let's go back into content. AI. There's no point of what they miss. Okay, interesting. Hmm. I thought there were regression settings. Hmm. Okay, well, let's work with this for now. Uh, I was gonna ask for. Um. And now we just wait. Oh, if any music starts playing, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Like I have the output log over on this other monitor that is actually underneath the webcam right now that is doing its thing, but like you guys would be staring at text. Not really interesting. Probably less interesting than me looking on my phone right now. You can stop me from looking at my phone from chatting. Okay. I think it's almost done packaging. Lots of text lines. There's a lot. Okay. Now, the unfortunate part is, I probably have to update my Career 5 and it's going to kill my internet because Epic does not know how to throttle download. I could also just ignore it. I could just try running the exe. Okay, chat, I'm sorry. If the stream happens to lag so much it goes down, now I'll be right back. We're gonna test the spawning stuff that we just did, and hopefully this does not kill my internet. Wait for the frame drops. It's gonna happen. Probably. It's a small download. We might be okay. I had to do a deal with bandwidth limiter just for Epic. That's probably a really good idea. It's actually a really good idea. I should do that. It just seems like such a basic function that should be there. How many times have you heard that with Epic? It is a small download, so I'm hoping it won't kill my internet. Seems to be okay. It's half done downloading. One other gripe I have with Epic is that it downloads, then installs, downloads, and installs rather than just download and then install, because download and install is actually way faster and more efficient on computers than the way Epic does it. I don't know why it like downloads a little bit, stops, and then it downloads it again at later. That's one thing that is very confusing, but oh well. Well, so far it's not killing my internet, which is good. Come on. You're almost done. Stop cutting off the download, just download it. You're less than 60 megabytes away from finishing this download. Epic is a strange beast. Not wrong. Yep. Progress bars, stream. This is great. This is fantastic content. Needs more progress bars? Oh yeah, I agree. You need at least 50. It's gonna be Project War. Every time I load up, it's just gonna put a progress bar. Like, it's not loading anything, it's just gonna be a progress bar saying, hey, I put a progress bar for progress bars. Would you like progress bars? So we progress bars through progress bars. You can progress while you bar. What?
Chat, this is why I don't like streaming while baked. I get weird and it's kind of annoying myself, but hopefully it's entertaining.
You're less than 20 megabytes, just download the rest of the 20, please. God damn it, honestly, it would make great loading screen shenanigans. There have been really good ideas for Easter eggs for Project War that have been coming up recently, and yeah, I kind of want to do them. There's a lot of self-references in Project War. There's a couple throwback lines, a couple references and very similar lines. I'm taking a couple of my favorite lines from MechWarrior 3 and MechWarrior 4 that I really liked. Obviously altering them to make sense, but like they're in the same vein. And all of them are spoiler related, so I can't say which ones they are. Epic, you have 17 megabytes left to download. Can you please just download it and then install it? Little Easter eggs like that are always nice. Oh yeah, I agree. I found with Battletech that you almost kind of have to write cheesy for it to make sense, because if it's not cheesy, then it just kind of takes itself a little too seriously, and then it kind of gets weird. Does that make sense? Out of curiosity, chat, have you guys played any of the older MechWarrior games? And if so, which ones? MechWarrior 4 Mercs all the time? Was that the only one you played, or did you play the other MechWarrior 4 games and X-Packs? I love this track. And of course you had a Pre-Spectre. 11 megabytes. You don't need to spend 10 minutes writing and reading this shit. You can just download it. I wish there's a way to change this. This MechWarrior works a little bit of MechWarrior 3, but not too much. Okay. Was that a personal choice, or just because you didn't have access to the others? Damn it, Epic. Please. It's not this hard just to download everything at once and then install it, because it takes less time than waiting for 15 minutes for a 240 megabyte goddamn update. I played MechWarrior 4 Bricks like 20 plus times through, also base Mech 4, Black Knight, and then a bit of Mech 3. Didn't get through it because my computer told me to stop playing it. I haven't touched anything further back than that. Okay. Fun fact, I never played MechWarrior 4 Bricks until about 4 years ago. Back when I was growing up, I just never had access to MechWarrior 4 Bricks. I basically played MechWarrior 3, M4 Vengeance, and Black Knight. That was all I had access to. And man, did I put in hours on MechWarrior 4 Vengeance. Started when I was a kid in 1997, so I didn't have enough age to decide on what to play. I had MechWarrior 4 and I grew up with it. Yeah, it was about the same thing with me. I can't remember how we came across it, and it fell behind my goddamn amp underneath the desk, so I'll go get it one sec. And yes, I have an amp underneath my desk because I do basically everything in this one tiny room. I forget how we came across it, but my first game ever was this. And I know it's backwards, but that is the original MechWarrior 3 box set with Pirates Moon. I don't remember how it came to be, but I just remember that it was on a computer. Someone asked me to try it. Forget who, but someone asked me, he's like, hey, come play this. And I was like, big stompy robots with guns? I'm in. And I loved it. And I think MechWarrior 4 was a Christmas gift when I was 6. Even 2001, right? 2000. I think I was 6 when I got MechWarrior 4 Vengeance, and then I got into that. And then Black Knight, I think, was also a Christmas gift the next year. So I played that, but yeah, I spent a lot of time on MechWarrior 4. My dad got MechWarrior 2 back in the day when he bought some piece of hardware for his computer, so it ended up being mine. Been a fan of the series ever since. Nice. I liked the art style of MechWarrior 3 way better. Oh, but the gameplay 4 was better? Is that what that says? MechWarrior 3 is more serious? Yes, MechWarrior 3 is more serious, and it's actually probably the most accurate simulation from BattleTech, I think, to date. That's why a lot of people like MechWarrior 3. I liked MechWarrior 3 because of the story, honestly. MechWarrior 4 is more cartoonish. I get what people say is cartoony, but I never really consider the graphics cartoony. Personally. I played MechWarrior 2 with keyboard only because computer mice were more of an accessory back. I just triggered a memory I didn't know I had. I remember that, yeah. Computers really didn't use mouse for games back then. It was all done through keyboard, I remember this. My dad got like Mech 4 when I was But a small person, when I became a larger person, I played that and played Mech 3 a bit a few months back because I was interested in how it played. You know, honestly, MechWarrior 3 actually holds up very well to this day. If you can get it running, it's a lot trickier to get running than MechWarrior 4 is on modern machines, but it can run. I actually have it on my PC and it can run. But it really is such a good game, even in this day. I still go back and play it every now and then. Like, I think the last time I loaded up was 2 weeks ago. And I played a couple missions on campaign, and god, that game is just so much fun. MechWarrior 4 definitely has more going for it, and like it has a special place. I think I've played through Mercenaries quite a few times already. But and I think I actually went back and played it after MechWarrior 5, and I came to the realization that MechWarrior 5 is just so much deeper than MechWarrior 4, but MechWarrior 5 is missing a lot of fun gameplay quirks that MechWarrior 4 Mercs had. So I kind of wish that the two of those games just kind of and had a chop. So the only thing I hated about the entire franchise was how they add removing mechs. I liked MechWarrior 4 Mercs a lot because they have the most rich mech lab. I would disagree with the latter part of that statement on the basis that the mech lab was actually very restrictive. At the time when I was growing up, I didn't mind it. But now that I realize that Battletech is essentially you can put anything on mech with enough time and money, I wish it was like that. And I find it very restrictive having to use slots and hardpoints with limited size. Like, yeah, it becomes a pain a little bit. I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. So that's why I say it wasn't rich, is it was still restrictive. Yes, it did have a lot of guns, it had a lot of mechs. It just didn't have a lot of customization. That's how I feel about it. How long does it take to download a 240 megabyte fucking update, Epic? Jesus fuck. Oh, chat, help. I'm gonna punch my computer. This is ridiculous. Chris still going as well? Ugh. I love the Annihilator MechWarrior 3, the Annihilator MechWarrior 4. Yes, and I can tell you why, because you can't fit 4 LBX-20s on it. Actually, I think you could. Was it 4 or 3 that you could have MechWarrior 4? Either way, I like the Annihilator better than MechWarrior 3 for sure. That was my favorite thing to do in MechWarrior 4. Yeah, it was the LAPD build, the get down on the ground, because you just pulled the trigger and every single mech fell over. You guys ready for the loudest fuck PGI title screen from MechWarrior 5? You guys might want to turn your volume down, like, right now. Good morning. Oh, don't know what's also funny, and I noticed this recently playing MechWarrior 4 again, is that if you shot out a side torso, the arm didn't disappear. Like, it could still use its arm for some reason. I kind of laugh at that every time I go back. I'm like, I feel like the arm should be gone too. Okay. One thing you can do in here though, Spectre, with the loadout mod, and I'll show you what I did. It's pretty disgusting. I used it once, and yeah, it's pretty disgusting. MWO hit that sweet spot between 3 and 4 for me, yes, with this mech lab, but it could have just, if I could have just been modded it would have been so happy, but now we have MechWarrior 5 to mess with, so now I'm just messing about with that, though haven't touched the mech lab at all since Magnum seems to be doing what I want out of it. I haven't been keeping up with Magnum's stuff. Is he making it more accurate where there's no hard points? Did I get rid of it? Might have gotten rid of it. Why would I have gotten rid of it? Spectre, what I did is I had a Mauler with 4 UAC 5s, and it was pretty gross. Oh, I have to... I have to talk to her before I go anywhere? Really? If I don't want to do the story? Okay.
Commander, nice work taking down your martyr and
I don't think it has anything to do with hard points yet. He has, like, engines and stuff going on right now, kind of like... Oh, nice. You have to be careful with mentioning Rogue Tech, because Rogue Tech does not actually have that system. That's Mech Engineer. Has engines and expanded mech lab.
Oi, mate. This mech is a thing of beauty, eh? 95 tons of sheer Merlin. She's got 2 medium pulse lasers, a pair of Gauss rifles, 10
Yeah, I'm excited for that because we need that for Pushpin War, so I'm pretty sure I'll be hitting him up. Be like, can we incorporate this, please?
A top speed of 48.6 kilometers an hour, mate. I'm telling you, she's a bloody beast.
Okay, now tell the commander what else you found.
Right, sorry, Guff. I started by taking a deep dive into the mech systems database, see what I could learn. And this mech, well, I had never heard of it before. A Night Star. Been extinct about 200 years, best I can tell. I wouldn't have believed that even existed if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. I found more than that though, eh? Seems to be par for the course these days.
Farhad.
Right, the thing is, Commander, this
Yeah, that Mauler is disgusting.
belonged to your father.
I thought you said it had been extinct for 200 years. How could it have belonged to my father?
We found another audio log, Commander. Inside the mech.
Cue X-Files theme.
Alpha Charlie 7718 Victor Romeo. Year is 2986. I have landed on Godwin Prime ahead of my infiltration of Karita space. Now only weeks away. I have decided to leave my mech here. It would only draw unwanted attention and risk my cover being blown. It is well hidden, and for the time being, my true identity remains secure. My mission will proceed as planned. My next transmission is set for approximately 1 year from today.
Commander?
My father was a spy? For whom? And what the hell was he doing with an extinct mech?
I don't know. Never the answers we want, and only the questions we can't answer. We know Comstar was tracking the movements of people and ships entering the inner sphere from unexplored space. I think that your father was one of those people. Only he entered more than 20 years ago. Where his journey originated is anyone's guess at the moment. But I'm beginning to think that the different coordinates he left behind mark the path he took on his way in.
You mean before someone discovered his secret and forced him to change his identity?
Exactly. Unlocking that last set of coordinates will hopefully solve the mystery once and for all. Right now, though, Spears has a new mission for us. Thinks it's time to take another run at Comstar, slow them down some more. I'll detail the briefing while you get us to our destination.
All right, sounds good.
Anyone familiar with the Battletech lore, like, knows exactly what they're talking about, but, like, someone outside of it is even going, huh? Who? Where? They had an extinct mech? This is crazy. What's going on? Everyone familiar is like, oh, yeah, no. Intelstra's here. Yeah, I know it's Mech Engineer, but I follow the progress of entirely... rogue tech, because I don't think my engineer would feel too complete with it. Yeah, that's fair. I used to work with the rogue tech people, but then I had to leave because, well, because of Project Winter War, and also I just did not like how the creator of rogue tech handles people and treats situations. I just find that it's way too much. Too toxic. Okay, so these are level 93s. So, what I'm hoping for is less air and ground, more mechs, probably more turrets. I'm hoping. We'll see if that actually happens. I need to fix my mechs, haha. Let's do something fun with this. Yeah, she's a real hit or miss with me most of the time, so like most of the other people in there seem nice, and I just sense it. Yeah, like a lot of people in Rogue Tech are so nice and so chill, but LA. I've actually had a lot of conversations with her before, back when I used to work on Rogue Tech, and like I understand where most of that stuff comes from, but like it's the wrong way to go about it. She assumes idiot over neutral rather than neutral over idiot. I assume neutral over idiot because no one's an idiot until they actually do something stupid. Yeah, you get that vibe? Really gonna play Rogue Tech since Unity hates my hardware. All Unity games run the crap. I had a problem with Rogue Tech, but I didn't have a problem with base BattleTech. That runs like a dream. Ah, fuck. Seen quite a few people have issues with it. I heard that their latest candidate is decent, but I'm not going back anytime soon to check that out, so. And that is me. Hold 1 sec. Does all the games run smooth, like 100 FPS? Yeah. No, like, I mean, that's what happens when you get mods. Like, people don't really do optimizations too much when it comes to modding, so. Works for me. Much on tonnage, actually, now that I think about it. rid of that for a second. Do something fun on the ballistic. $12 for an AC-10. Fuck. Forgot how shit inner sphere stuff is. Let's solve my energy problems first here. Tons. God damn it. Turns out all the other people that do optimizations run off when everyone starts doing mods. Needs clan racks. Yeah, it needs clan racks. I want ballistics, but everything else is too heavy. Will the Gauss even show up on the model if I put it there? Ah, it does. That's actually kind of funny. Maybe take off the alarm. I know, I'm wasting time. Nah, actually, that's bad. I'm honestly just gonna leave this alone. Because I just want to test stuff right now, so. Models are NWO after all? Yes, but the hardpoints are still somewhat limited. The game frames are dropping, but my OBS is not. Try walking around in the back hangar here, because it used to lag OBS before. So you know what's actually fine here? So chat, imagine not updating OBS for 2 years. And having problems with frames in here before. You guys actually watch my playthrough on YouTube from the streams that I did of this game. You'll notice that whenever I enter the mech or the dropship, that I just lag horribly, despite my game running it perfectly fine. And then imagine updating OBS, and now it actually captures everything pretty fine. Just now my game actually tanks for some reason, which honestly is a lot more preferable than OBS not being able to handle it. Okay, so, expectations. More mechs, less tanks and vehicles. Or tanks and VTOLs. If an assault spawns, I'm gonna be very happy.
Enemy forces have established a base somewhere in this area. We've been contracted to burn it to the ground and leave nothing left to be used by hostile forces. Good hunting.
Imagine updating things? Yeah. I was actually under the belief this entire time that OBS would update automatically upon launching. Nope. Add Strima. You have to manually go into that shit. So chat, as a reminder, battle values for every single mission are halved. And we also edited the spread of what we see here.
Target acquired.
Enemy destroyed.
Yes, we halved the battle value.
Target destroyed.
And it still spawned a shitload of things on my games earlier.
Target acquired.
So there's still tanks, but it's not like you see a billion of them.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Okay, now it's a little bit weird.
Target destroyed.
No, I was talking about the OBS thing. Oh.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Half battle value thing seems interesting. Yeah. Well, there's definitely less tanks. I feel like I'd be swarmed right now if they all spawned as they normally do. But I can't tell if that's because of battle value or because of the spread values that I edited.
Forested floors can be slick. Pay attention as you navigate.
Our target is now marked. Go get him. Acquired.
Boom! Yes!
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
We're making progress, but still have a long way to go. Keep at it, everyone.
Destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Kind of shocked I haven't seen a mech yet.
Target destroyed.
The area is down to half capacity. Keep going.
And mods max out a mech warrior. Wasn't supposed to happen.
This area is on its last legs, Commander. Just one final push, and then we can all go home.
Oh, there's a mech. It's a medium. You just got deleted. Oh, more mechs. For you. Focus. Oh, where are you? Come back out. Kata. Another one.
Good kill, Commander. That mech is going critical.
Okay.
That's it, Commander. You've completely destroyed this area. Great work. Best get to the evac point now, before more reinforcements arrive.
Medium lance versus assault lance. Yeah. This is not entirely intended. What are you dropping off? Not enough.
Tango smoked.
Moving on you.
I feel like if you just changed it to only spawn assault mech, you would definitely know it's working. That's a good point.
Tango down.
I'll probably do that next time.
Target destroyed.
Oh, I know.
Target destroyed.
Mission success, Commander. Time to get out of here.
Or like no tank zone would be noticeable. Like I did have that secondary set. Just ignore tanks and air. Like I did notice a significant decrease in tanks and VTOLs even from before editing spread files, but definitely need a lot more mechs. And I'll have to poke through those files again at some point, but not gonna be today. Okay, so more notes. Okay, got that written down. Chat, I'm gonna head off because it's about lunchtime. I'm hungry. I said that dev streams are gonna be shorter, little developmental test type stuff. Next dev stream will probably be Monday. We'll do some work on Monday, try to see if we can get the spawn thing figured out. Game plan after that is obviously going to be tabletopping values for mechs and weapons, because once spawns are figured out, then obviously it can start balancing around nerfed values for weapons and mechs. So that's going to be the plan. You guys, thank you so much for the huge following and support today. I can't believe a lot of you are watching this, but I mean, hey, if it's entertaining, sure. But also keeps you guys up to date of what we're doing with the project. We're gonna war. You guys can hang out, ask questions. You can also do that on the Discord, which I highly suggest everybody join. Yeah, no, that's gonna be it. So yeah, next dev stream will probably be Monday. We'll continue messing around with spawns, and I'm definitely gonna do that test of just switching everything to assaults, and do all that. Yo, Cat Demon, this. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope to see you around again. Hope you enjoyed your time here. It was a cool outlook. Thanks, man. No problem. So yeah, next stream Monday. If you guys are not part of the Discord, please use the Project Reward command in chat, which is exclamation PWW. It's going to link you to a Reddit post that will have a link to the Discord. Hopefully for next stream, I will just have straight Project Reward Discord, and you guys can join from there. I just didn't think of it today because I woke up late. And Franken, thank you so much for the follow as well. Hope you enjoyed your time here. Hope to see you again as I'm closing out things. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you so much for watching the dev stream. As I said, dev streams are going to be on a semi-occasional basis, so you guys can see the development process, how everything's working, and so that we can communicate with you and show that we actually are working on this. So, I'm gonna head off. Spectre, I'm gonna check on that notification. Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the follows. This is fantastic support for the project already. Just off this first dev stream, and I hope that they become more common. I'm hoping to get more people involved from the dev team as well that want to show off their stuff as things are. For Sipco member Sipkin. Does it not say Sipkin? I honestly haven't noticed. If I will, I'll change it. Yeah, hopefully more people will get involved as their work becomes less spoiler territory and more public territory, which will be soon. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna get some lunch and think about how best to handle the spawn system for Monday. Bye.